What's up guys, it's Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to Project Cars 2. I did a video recently sharing my favorite cars in Project Cars 2 currently, and got a lot of questions about my force feedback settings. What am I doing that I can feel the wheel slip as much as I can? So I decided to share my force feedback settings. A couple notes though before I get started that first of all, force feedback settings in my opinion are not prescriptive, meaning that what works for me will not necessarily work for you. I am running a direct drive wheel. I know most of you are not, so what works for me likely won't work for you. There's much less chance of me clipping than if I was running, say, a belt-driven or a gear-driven wheel, so just be cognizant of that. And second thing is, it's also not a panacea. What works for one car will not work for all cars. I have personally shaped mine around the Radical RXC Turbo and also the TS020 Toyota. So, yeah, those are just some things to keep in mind. However, this might be a good starting point for you if you're really struggling with force feedback settings. So let's get into it. Let's go into controls here, and under force feedback, as you can see, I have my flavor set to raw. Now, if you're on PC, it would be a good idea, and I think you might need to enroll. It's been a while since I downloaded the files, but I think you might need to enroll in the official Project Cars forum, but you can get the Jack Spade force feedback files. And what those are effectively Jack Spade, whether or not that's his real name, I'm not sure, but force feedback files for PC that give you really great force feedback. I don't personally run them. My Sim Experience Sim Commander software profile actually got sent to me by a subscriber, and it was based around the raw, and it's as good as I could ever imagine. So I use the raw, but do give the Jack Spade files a try if you are on PC. Now, as you can see, the top two there, the gain and volume, are set very high. So 90 and 85 respectively, meaning that the force feedback is going to be very strong. Now, keep in mind, you can override this in Sim Commander if you're running a AccuForce wheel, which I do, but I do turn it up quite high in game. I like a stronger force feedback setting, but again, this might come down to clipping. You may run into clipping issues, and that's not good. The tone, I do like to feel wheel slip, so I have it set to 78 here. It's somewhat of a balance. This maybe could be a bit more neutral, possibly down into the 60s, but it's a good idea, I think, to make sure you feel enough wheel slip. The road noise is probably less important in my opinion, depending on where you're running, but yeah, definitely feeling wheel slip is a big thing. Now, keep in mind, I should note here that the test track for me for my force feedback is the Radical RXC Turbo at Brno. I feel that is a sort of perfect test track because there's lots of elevation changes, and you know, it's very easy to break the wheel tires loose. Excuse me, very easy to break the rear tires loose, and so that's where I test all my force feedback, and with these settings I get a good amount of force feedback feel when I go around a corner and lose traction, and I'm able to get those rear tires to bite again. The effects, again, set very high. Yeah, this is probably, as much as anything in here, very much a personal setting. What do you like to feel through the wheel? I set mine very high, as you can see, with lots of road detail. Yeah, no particular reason. I just kind of like how it feels. But the most important two, I think, are the most important three are the top three: gain, volume, and tone. And as you can see, I set them very high, and I like to feel the wheel slip. Menu spring strength is not important to me. So that's basically it, guys, for my force feedback. If you're having troubles, my suggestion would be to comment below, because if somebody is running the same wheel as you, they may have settings you wish to try, and yeah, I'm sure they'll respond to your comments. So that's going to do it, guys. I'll end this by showing the Sim Commander software settings I am running currently. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.